The following podcast is part of the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. For advertising information or to find more great podcasts, visit us at www.theunderdogsports.com and follow us on Twitter at RealTheUnderdog.
Okay. Well, just for the record, we got Sunny in Phoenix too. 52 to.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sunny in Phoenix podcast, a weekly podcast where we keep you up to date on everything Phoenix Suns basketball. My name is Charlie Erling, and we've got Mitch Krumpetich in the house.
Hello, everyone. Once again, we are joined by a very special guest, but this week is different. We're not joined by only one special guest. We're joined by two special guests. The specialists of guests, you may say. We're joined by our better halves. So, welcome, for the very first time, to the Sunny in Phoenix podcast, Charlie's wife, Natalie Erling, and my fiance, Denise Montero. Natalie and Denise, how are you today?
Hi. Good.
I see Denise has the Josh impression down.
Yeah,
That was good. That was just like Josh. That was perfect.
Very nice. Yes, thank you guys. This is fun.
It only took 223 episodes to get you on, but we finally did it.
Yep, we finally gave in years later, and we
years of pressure.
Gonna let them come on.
Today, we are going to do our usual NBA check-in. We have a touch of news to talk about. We're going to catch up with Denise and Natalie on their experience with basketball, the Suns, living with two people who are completely obsessed. And then we're going to play the Suns Newlywed game. Just like the old game show, the Newlywed game, but we put a basketball/Suns twist on it. And then, of course, the non-sports section of the show. Follow us on Twitter at SunnyandPHXPod. Same thing for Instagram. Go on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review and a comment, and you will get a shout out on the show. So before we get into anything, Adam Silver had a conference call with league personnel, GMs, and the such. He's pretty much said there's not enough information to make a decision at this point. Still just waiting on more information. There's a few different ideas floating around. One being we could, play the rest of the season and the playoffs potentially in a very isolated, contained manner. Pick one or two cities that teams would play in. All of the players would have to stay in a hotel, only be able to go from the hotel to the arena and play in front of no fans. The other idea is to just stop the season here, don't worry about it, pick up again in October. And then a third idea we've seen gaining some traction is to pick up this season's playoffs in October, pushing back the 2020-2021 regular season and playing a shortened season, kind of like a lockout year where potentially starting around Christmas or January 1st, around there. So of those three options, what do you want to see the most?
Well, it's tough because we're Suns fans. We're not making the playoffs this season. So I lean to just ending the season now and doing everything that's possible to get the season picked back up next year close to the regular time. I understand things might need to be pushed back a touch, but if we could try to get a full 82-game season next year, I think that'd be great. But really, how unprecedented would it be for the NBA to just end a season midway through it and not crown a champion? Has that ever happened before? I don't think it has.
I don't think so. Yeah, it would be really weird. I mean, we could kind of go with like the European soccer model and just crown the champion of whoever has the best record. I don't really like that, but that is what they do in a lot of those soccer leagues. So that's an option if we were to end the season, which is also my preference. I would rather just say, you know what, we're done. We're not worrying about this. Have the draft, before the draft, possibly some sort of combine or something like that based on the amount of testing like we talked about last week. And then just get everything started again in October, and hopefully we'll be able to all gather by that point. And if not, playing in front of no fans is better than nothing. I'd rather start that on time, though.
Right. And the thing about playing in front of no fans, I wonder what the split is between how much a team makes in ticket sales compared to how much they make from ad revenue from televising their games. I wonder what that number is. And if they do just go to cable only and you can't get into the game, that's going to be a ton more people at home watching the games. Everybody's hungry to watch games. They're going to tune into games they probably wouldn't usually watch. So I believe that ad revenue would probably kick in pretty nice for games like this.
Right, that's a good point. And on top of all of that, Adam Silver also added that the NBA's revenue is essentially zero at this point. I mean, there's T-shirts and whatnot being sold on the NBA store, but they're making so much more money from ads, ticket sales, all that kind of stuff. The players also agreed to take I don't know if they agreed. There was a deal put in place that they're going to be taking a major pay cut starting, I believe, in May. So, yeah, the NBA is hurting financially.
How much does all of this, how is that going to affect the salary cap next year? That's going to be crazy. If the NBA is not making money for months while they're used to it, and then we start the new financial year with the new contracts and all that, I don't know if it's going to be a big difference, but I bet it's a couple million less than it is right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that salary cap get adjusted a little bit. Maybe having some emergency CBA meetings or something like that. I don't know if there's anything in place for, a pandemic. So it's affecting everyone, definitely. Okay, we're done talking about the coronavirus. We're sick of it. We try to get it out of the way early. Let's get into the fun stuff. Well, I hope this is fun. Let's start. Natalie, I want to start with you. Tell us a little bit about your experience with basketball, with the Suns. How did you get into it? All of that kind of stuff. Let's hear about it.
Well, in light of the game that's coming later, I can't talk about how I got into the NBA first because that's going to give some things away. So maybe I can touch on that a little bit later in the game. But it started pretty early for me. But my love for the Suns definitely started when I started dating Charlie. So the reason we are a Phoenix Suns household is because of him. And we've both always been athletes, whether that was high school and college. So we're both quite competitive too. So his teams became my teams. So I will blame Charlie for my Suns fanatic here.
Well, didn't you play basketball growing up too?
I did, yeah. And I was pretty good for a small school. Started and
she was kind of like Patrick Beverly, but not all the smack talk.
That surprises me.
Really?
I would expect more smack talk.
Oh, I went to a private school.
Yeah, private Christian school. I don't think that coach allowed much smack talk on the court.
I remember one time I swore after a track meet because I had lost a race by a really short amount. And the word that I said was mild compared to some of the words out there. But one of my coaches heard that. And I had to do carpet boards for about 20 minutes. So I never did that again.
Wow. I also went to a small Catholic school growing up from kindergarten through 9th grade. And when I was in 5th grade, our coaches were 9th graders. And they taught us how to cough while someone was shooting a free throw. I'll never forget that.
It's all about timing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess we didn't do something as heinous as swearing, but we did cough during free throws.
Bad boys.
Yeah. We were a modern day Detroit Pistons bad boys, Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, that was us, bunch of 5th graders. Yeah. All right. Well, Denise, I have the same question for you. Tell us about your experience with the Suns and basketball in general.
Okay. Well, I think I'll start by saying I'm not really, before dating Mitch, I wasn't really big into sports. And I mean, we would watch like the Super Bowl or like I went to one basketball game, and those are fun to watch, but not a big fan of any team in particular. But I've been a fan of the Suns now since the last year because of Mitch. Definitely more invested in that. It's been fun learning how the rules of the game and, the players.
Yeah, I mean, we have a variety of experience here. I think that's what's going to be fun in this game. And I will say, we will go shoot around sometimes, We'll play horse or, try to do trick shots or whatever it is. There's a little hoop in the neighborhood that Denise lives in, so sometimes we'll go with her brothers and do that. And we've learned a couple plays. We've learned a play where she just throws me a lob and I just go up and get it, and that's a pretty fun one. But I will say, there's been a couple games of horse where you've beat me.
Well, because we modify it.
Hey, well, you don't need to say that. She's picking it up, You're doing good. Okay, so the next question I have for both of you, and Denise, let's just hear this. I think this will be interesting. How has your life changed based on my level of involvement with the Suns?
Wait, how's my life?
How has your life changed?
Well, I think there's pros and cons to it, I guess.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I mean, it's really fun to go to the games, in person, and it's just exciting to see everybody, rooting for the Suns and having your little pizza and all the entertainment. But yeah, I've never, I guess, been with someone that's been so invested in sports, and so that has taken a lot of time away. Just not used to that, but I mean, it's been good. It's been better.
It's a big time commitment.
It is.
Yeah, you're right.
Denise, you luckily get to go to games with a professional pizza catcher, though, because Mitch brings home more free pizzas than anyone I've seen at a Suns game.
I do. They have a little promotion where they have gift cards to Streets of New York Pizza that come on a little parachute. And where our seats are, it just happens to be perfectly positioned for where those things fall. And I got 4 or 5 of them this year. It got to the point that I was like, I don't even want this. And I was giving it away. or we were planning our dinner around the fact that I was probably going to catch one. Before? No, you'll probably catch one of those pizza things. Seriously, and it happened. It was funny. Yeah, so it works out for you. But okay, Natalie, what about you? How has your life changed based on Charlie's level of involvement with the Suns?
I like that the time commitment was brought up. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the comment, "I can't. There's a Suns game." I hear that a lot. So we have essentially planned our lives around an NBA basketball season. I mean, down to planning flights and trips home, and I'm okay with that. It is the time commitment that it takes, and I think that speaks to you too, and how dedicated you are to your team. But I think aside from that, it's been something that Charlie and I have enjoyed together. I think that it's something that has brought us close together, and we both really enjoy sports, but something we share, a hobby, as well as something fun to do together. We really enjoy going to games, and I think that maybe surprised him a bit with how much I enjoy doing something like that. And
you know what I think the key to a long relationship is? Finding something in common that you can both get mad at.
I agree with that.
You can let out some anger there, and if you're sharing it, it's
yeah,
it's beautiful.
It is. I agree. That's a good one. Yeah, and I mean, I think the time commitment, yes, it's 82 games. It's a long season, and I know I said this. I think it was last week, where we talked about having some sort of tournament or something, or the season picking up again. I forget exactly what we're talking about, but in like August or September, and I said no, because those are usually the only 2 months that my loved ones get to spend with me, like undivided attention, because I mean the NBA is essentially a year-round sport, you know. But those 82 games, I mean, there'll be weeks where it's like we have 3 games this week, we have 4 games next week, 2 the week after, you know. It's so busy. And it'll be like, oh, what are we going to do tonight? Well, there's a Suns game, and it starts as soon as I get off work. You know, you can come over and watch it or just do your own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it turns into a lot. But I appreciate that you have taken the effort to, you know, to learn it and to enjoy it, because it is something fun to do together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this here. The Suns Newlywed Game. We've got 10 questions written here. Natalie and Denise are going to answer for Charlie and I, respectively. And we're just going to ask these questions, maybe keep a little bit of a score, see who knows who better. And then, just like the Newlywed Game, and then we're going to switch it. So we'll ask Natalie and Denise the exact same questions, and Charlie and I have to guess their preferences. So, yeah, let's just get into this. Let's have Natalie and Charlie go first here. Our first question here is, who is your favorite current Suns player?
So am I going to go through all the questions for Charlie in a
Yes.
row here? Okay. Favorite current Suns player is Devin Booker. Are you going to?
That is absolutely correct.
Okay, so they got one correct. And now you can answer the same question for me. Who's my favorite current Suns player?
I will also say Devin Booker.
That is also correct.
Yeah.
Gotta start you with an easy one. Devin Booker. Yes, that's right. And I kind of want to talk about these, but I also don't want to give away your answers. So we might have to just have more of a discussion after you two go. Yeah, because I was going to go into this, but I realized we were probably going to give away some answers here. Okay, let's just move on to number 2 then. Our second question. Who is your second favorite current Suns player? This is a little tougher.
I'm gonna go with Mikal Bridges.
Yes.
You talk
wow.
about him a lot, and I don't know. I feel like you've kind of always had second favorite players that are maybe a little bit, off par, not what everybody else thinks. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bridges.
Well done.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
That makes me happy. That makes me happy. You didn't know that?
Well, if I would have thought about it, I bet I would have got it, but I don't think that would have been my first guess.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice.
See, you don't get the intimate Suns thoughts that my wife gets.
The
you
pillow
know?
talk.
The
Pillow talk. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, Denise, same question to you. Who is my second favorite current Suns player? I'll give you a hint. You know this one.
I know.
You know
Okay,
it.
That's good. I'm kind of stuck between 2, but I'll guess Oubre.
Oh.
Dang it.
No, who was your other one? What was your other guess?
Ian? No, I
No.
don't know.
Ooh.
Oh no.
My second favorite player is Rubio.
Ah.
Yeah. Oubre would be third, though. So that was close. That was a good guess. And I really had to think about this. This is a tough question because before I wrote this, I don't think I had an answer. And so I really had to think about it. And for me, it was between Rubio and Oubre. So not bad. Not bad. Okay. Let's go to number 3 here. Favorite Suns player of all time?
Charles Barkley.
She's good. I've said many times that I was named after Charles Barkley, which is not true. But I make that joke quite a bit, so I'm glad she...
We tell everybody he was.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The not as round mound of under average rebounding. Probably what my name would have been.
Well, you're probably taller than him.
Yeah, if he's 6'4", actually. I know he was listed at 6'6", but everyone says he's 6'4", and I think he even said he's 6'4.5" or something like that. So I might have him.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
All right. Who is my all-time favorite Suns player?
Um, I'll go with Nash.
Yes, it's Steve Nash.
Okay.
Nice.
Easy
Woo.
one. Easy one. Steve Nash is my all-time favorite athlete, period.
Hmm.
He's my favorite. I love Steve Nash. Steve Nash is the player who made me fall in love with sports.
Oh,
Yeah. I love Steve Nash. Yep,
special place for him.
absolutely. Okay. The next one, potentially the easiest question on this list.
For you.
For me. Favorite college basketball team?
Am I going? This is hard for me, but I'm gonna have to go with U of A basketball. Wildcats, maybe.
She's good.
I knew that one.
She's good. I was a bigger U of A fan back in the day, closer around high school.
Mhm.
And I just I loved Lute Olson. He was the man. He was a great coach. So I was a fan of them for quite a while. And then I slowly just kind of faded away from college basketball, and I didn't watch a ton of it. But yeah, it's definitely U of A. It's so I'm happy here.
Yep, I actually knew that one too. Yeah, I remember you saying that very early on in the podcast, like 2016 early.
That's early.
Yeah. Okay, well, same question to you, Denise. And if you missed this,
It's over.
yeah, no, if you
No,
missed
I'm
this,
kidding.
then the rest of these questions could be tough. But you're gonna get this one. Who's my favorite college basketball team?
Ooh, okay. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. Only because you mentioned them like every other episode.
every episode.
I can confirm every episode.
The Zags.
Yes, Gonzaga Bulldogs. Go Zags. Good
Where
job.
do you went to Gonzaga? Is that
I
true?
did go to Gonzaga. That's correct. From
Graduated
2012
and everything?
2016. Graduated and everything. That's right. I did. Major and 2 minors. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
You're not
good
even
job.
gonna mention Pep Band though? Isn't that?
Oh
like
yeah,
most important
I've
thing?
mentioned many
They,
times.
the listeners know. They know.
The listeners definitely know that I was in the band that traveled with the team, and yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Our 5th question here. Favorite team other than the Suns? And I've put this in terms of if the Suns didn't exist for whatever reason, which team would we be rooting for?
I think it would be. It's between 2, but I'm just gonna go with Minnesota Timberwolves due to where we are from.
You
I
got
think
it.
That would be.
You got it.
Good
Back when we started dating and before I started to invest in League Pass, all we got was Fox Sports North, which played all the Minnesota sports teams. So if I wanted to watch basketball regularly, it was all T-Wolves. So watched quite a few games of the T-Wolves.
All right, there you go. And same question to you, Denise. If the Suns didn't exist, who would I be rooting for?
I actually don't know this one.
Do you need a hint? I can give you a hint. My reasoning is the exact same as Charlie's.
Good job.
I don't know if that helps. I don't know. Utah Jazz.
Oh, so
Ooh.
close. Very, very, very close. Denver Nuggets.
Oh, duh.
Yes, Denver Nuggets. I followed the Nuggets for a little bit. I was never quite as invested as I am now, but when they made the playoffs and played the Warriors it was the 2012-2013 season, I believe. Or, no, it was my freshman year of college. So yeah, 2012-2013. I was I was watching more Nuggets games. I watched all those playoff series, and the Nuggets did lose that series, I remember. And that was right when the Warriors really started picking everything up. But yeah, it would be the Nuggets for sure. But the Jazz, that's a good one because John Stockton played there, and a lot of my family growing up were Jazz fans. So that's kind of a tricky one for me.
That was the closest possible answer for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question is favorite current player who is not on the Suns.
This was a little bit harder, and I had 2 came to mind right away. And I'm gonna go with Newlywed. He's a really good player. 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 He's a really good with this one, and I was thinking Bogdanovich, and I'm not sure why I thought that, but I don't know that that's the right one. So, but the other one that I was thinking, and then I was like, yeah, it's this one, and his last name is a nightmare to pronounce. So, Giannis.
Oh.
I was thinking maybe Giannis.
Antetokounmpo?
Yeah.
Is it Giannis?
Sadly,
Is it Giannis?
you're 0 for 2 there.
Oh,
you missed
shoot.
them both.
Okay. All right.
I do like Giannis a lot.
I thought you did.
And I remember being really high on Bogdanovich after we drafted him. And then we kind of followed his Euro season while we were waiting for him to come over to the Suns. And then all of a sudden we traded him and never got to see him. So I was definitely a big fan for a while there.
You
but
talk about them both a lot, or you have in the past.
right.
So
And
Giannis
Giannis is just something we haven't seen in a while. So he's a lot of fun. But my favorite, and this has changed recently, so Mitch, you might not even know this.
I don't think I do.
It's Damian Lillard. I love Dame.
No way.
I like
wow.
Dame. It used to be Jimmy Butler, but after his attitude
That's
deal,
right.
he kind of dropped some points in my book. Even though he's back on top of it now for sure. I'd say he's in a good position, but
Yeah.
Dame's the man. I like watching Dame, and he's
Yeah.
a level-headed dude compared to a lot of them, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, well, same question to you, Denise. Who is my favorite player who's not on the Suns?
Does it have to be a current player?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep. That is a good question because that would change things.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, I don't know too many players.
Right. This is a tough one for me. This was even tough for me to decide.
Well, I don't really know any other players besides.
Well, take a
the
guess.
Suns one,
Take a
but,
guess.
I mean, would it be a player like on the Nuggets?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Just take a stab in the dark.
Larry Bird.
No, current.
I don't know.
Current. You can do it. You want a hint? He
friend.
went to Gonzaga.
No, I don't know.
So just pass on this one.
I'm thinking gonna have
That's
to.
okay. It would be Domantas Sabonis. He plays for the Pacers. And this was tough for me to decide between him and Kelly Olynyk. But I went with Sabonis because he's a better player. I really love Kelly. He had his breakout at Gonzaga my freshman year, and it was really exciting. Kelly Olynyk and I are friends on Facebook, which is pretty cool. But Sabonis is a great player, more than just like a role player. He's a big part of the Pacers team, and really nice guy too. Like I've probably interacted with Sabonis more than Olynyk, I would say, like on a personal level. Sabonis is a very, very nice guy. His dad is like an NBA legend, and Sabonis had a great career at Gonzaga as well. So got to go with Sabonis. Okay, that was a tough one.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we're going to do another very difficult one. Who was the first Suns game we ever attended against? So who did the Suns play in our very first Suns game in attendance?
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know that Charlie knows the response to this, but I know that it would have been when he was younger or a kid. It would be a total stab in the dark, but I know your first NBA game ever was the Chicago Bulls. But I do not know your first. I don't know that.
Okay.
The answer?
I honestly don't, because I'm quite sure I went to a game when I was a kid, and I think it was even a preseason game. If I don't remember though, and I don't have anyone I could ask, which is kind of a bummer. But I'd give her maybe a quarter of a point for the Bulls game being my first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That was a tough one.
If you don't
That
know
is-
the answer, how can we even?
Right,
I know.
I think this question is more for me because I do know the answer to mine.
Okay.
So
That's good.
what do you think? Who was my first ever Suns game against? And I will give you a hint. They don't exist anymore.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, kind of.
These hints are not really helping.
They don't exist anymore.
They don't exist. What region or
Northwest.
Northwest?
Mhm.
Were they from Washington? Or...
Yes, they were from Washington.
I just don't know the name of the team.
That's okay.
The Washingtons.
Not the Washingtons. Good guess. The Seattle Supersonics.
Oh.
It was April 11th, 2007. And I was there. We sat in the nosebleeds. It was a birthday present. And I went with my dad and my grandpa. It was called the
Nice.
U.S. Airways Center at that time. So April 11th, 2007. Yeah. Well, it's still the same place. It was just called something different. And I was actually looking at the box score from that game today, and it's very weird. James Jones started for the Suns in that game. So pretty wild to take a look back at that. Yeah, it was awesome. So good try. That's a really difficult question. This game, or this next question, I think might be a bit easier, and I think it could be very fun. Favorite in-arena performance. So this includes like any halftime performances, quarter breaks, contests, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Golden Grannies.
Yep, it's definitely. And actually, I wrote down 2 for this one. You went with my local favorite, so I'm giving it to you. The Golden Grannies are fantastic.
But what about that one lady that's like the acrobat kind of lady? What
Nailed
is
it. Nailed it. You
the
got
other
them
one?
both.
That's your
You
other
got
one.
them both.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Red Panda. Red Panda.
Red Panda. There we go.
Oh, that's what I was gonna guess for you,
Red Panda would be my favorite, like national. So I'll give you a point there. But do you know what my favorite local one would be?
Local one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are their names? The dancing group that comes out sometimes.
Like the Solar Squad?
Yeah.
Not quite. Or do you mean like the trampoline dunk guys?
Sure, that would be my.
I do
guess.
like them. No, my favorite one is the Carl's Jr. one, where when they race and the one guy lays down and at the end the other one jumps on top of him.
Oh,
And they like
one?
build
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mitch
think
loves
that
that.
I do love the ending of that, but I will give you that for Red Panda because everyone's favorite is Red Panda.
Amazing.
Number 9 here, just a couple more for us. Favorite in-game local commercial.
Yeah, right, Dad. Parker and Sons.
Absolutely. I actually one time made Natalie's parents watch that commercial. They were in town and they were just getting back from somewhere, and like they walked in the door and the commercial was coming on, and I paused the game and I was like, "You guys have to come watch this." I don't know if they thought it was as funny as I did, but that commercial is gold.
Oh, it is. It is. Do you know my favorite local commercial?
Well, I had an idea, but I was like, oh, that's not local. The commercial.
Which one were you thinking?
Well, when KFC had their famous bowls out, like that was like a big deal.
I don't commercials. Those things are unsettling.
Joke about it.
I do. That's actually true. I do. I don't know why KFC famous bowls are so funny to me. That was like a running joke for me for so long. Like, you guys gonna stop and get a KFC famous bowl for lunch today? I don't know why, but that's so funny. And I was joking about that once, and I passed a KFC, and I was at a red light, and I stopped and took a picture, and I sent it to people. I was like, it's fate. Yeah, that's funny that you say that, but no, local.
I'll go with Parker and Sons.
Yes, that's my favorite. Yeah, right, Dad. Yeah, you got it. Okay, good one. So the last question for our side of things is favorite sport other than basketball.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with swimming. Joking. No, football.
That's right. That's the only other sport that I regularly watch. I watch a ton of NFL football during the season, but it may have used to be baseball, but I've fallen away from baseball. So football definitely takes the cake there.
Okay, and for me?
I'll also say football.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not as into it as I used to be, but I still haven't missed watching a Broncos game, either in person or on TV, for almost 14 years now. Going on 14 years. Yeah, the last time I missed a Broncos game was Thanksgiving 2005. Or 2006. Yeah, 2006. Thanksgiving 2006 was the last time I missed one. Yeah, pretty well.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, well, it's easy when the games are once a week for just a few weeks. I mean, playoffs. They've gone to the playoffs quite a few times, including the Super Bowl twice in that span. So that adds a couple extra games, but it's way less than basketball. I mean, watching 21 games of basketball will take a month, and in football, that's a whole season. So, yeah, it's a way different.
You could probably be in like the Guinness World Record.
I don't think I could. There's people who are way bigger fans than me. Oh, okay, good job. So for that one, Natalie, you got 8 out of 10. 8.25, I guess. And Denise, you got 6-ish because we kind of gave you Washington. So pretty good. These were difficult questions. These were designed to be very difficult. So I think you know us pretty well. So let's flip the script here for a little bit. And I will get a new note out so that I can keep score here. So let's go ahead and switch it here. So Charlie, you're going to be guessing all of Natalie's favorites, and I'm going to guess all of Denise's favorites. So the first one is favorite current Suns player.
Okay, and I'm a little worried about this entire thing in general because Mitch, me and you talk about basketball a heck of a lot more than these two ladies do. So some of these are just kind of shots in the dark. So
it's going to be worse for us.
Okay. I feel pretty confident about the first two, though. And I think that Natalie's favorite current player is Ricky Rubio.
Yes, I'm a point guard girl. That was my position, so I tend to gravitate towards that. And I'll talk more about that later because I can't give away anything else. But yeah, Ricky is my favorite.
Okay, nice. And
do handsome point guards mean anymore?
The man bun helps.
The man bun helps. Okay.
He does have great hair.
He does. I love it.
It's a mane. That's right. It's beautiful.
So now I'll guess for you, Denise, and I believe your favorite player is also Ricky Rubio.
Correct.
All right.
Hey, cool. Denise, I didn't know that about you. Hey.
The Spanish-speaking element helps.
Sure. I bet. I was gonna say the accent does it for me too. I like it.
When he's like Rubio recently did a 6,000-piece puzzle. And he put the whole thing on his Instagram story, and I do a little impression of him, and that's a running joke that we have.
Hey, San Fan.
Hey, Sans Fan, yeah, that one.
Well, you can't leave us hanging with your impression.
Well, he's "Who's les seis mil?" I don't even know if that's exactly what he said, but sometimes when we've been doing a puzzle too, so we'll be doing it, and I'll just launch into my Rubio impression.
Here, I'll do mine. And one.
That's pretty good. He's got a great voice. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so next is second favorite current Suns player.
And I'll be sticking in the handsome factor with this one. And I'm going Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yep.
Yep.
Those green eyes.
Nice.
But he's fun to watch play too, right?
It's the entertainment factor for me. It's kind of the same reason why I was such a Gerald Green fan. I mean, kind of the same thing. And then who
part of the finger.
Yeah, but after Gerald Green, then who was it was the same thing. Who kind of came after
Well,
him?
was
That
it Josh Jackson?
Josh Jackson, like the same that fun big dunk, entertaining.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them. Yeah.
I remember when you were big into Tyson Chandler.
Also the beard. Oh man, that's why he grew his out.
I had to grow one like Tyson.
Yeah, I do not miss Tyson Chandler. Sorry.
I don't either. It's fine.
Ooh.
Your second favorite player, though, I think yours is. I'm between two. I think it's either Oubre or Booker. And I don't know if I want to be different than them or stick with the same. Oubre. It's Oubre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
All right. That's funny. I didn't know that it would match up so well. Yeah.
Well, I was actually deciding between Oubre or Kobo.
A Kobo?
Oh, Ellie.
Why Ellie?
I don't know. I like him.
The Frenchman?
Mm-hmm.
The greatest French point guard of all time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oubre.
Why
Yeah,
Oubre?
Well, I mean, I think kind of the same thing what Natalie was saying. It's just like he's just so fun on court and like fun to watch, and I don't know his energy. Like, I think he just adds a lot of fun to the game, and he's good. He's a good shooter. So
Yeah, he's good. I love Oubre.
And about being fun, really, the Suns needed that. We needed somebody, and he came in and he pretty much cheered up the locker room from the way I see it.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, it really means a lot.
yeah. He's a little Teletubby son.
Yeah.
Oh, those make me so happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kelly, those do cheer me up, and I think we're due for another one, right?
I think we are. It's been a while since
Yeah.
the second post. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Number 3, favorite Suns player of all time.
I'm going to go Nash because that's the first guy. When we went to our first game together, it was Steve Nash. And I remember you just loved Steve. Everybody loves Steve. So
Yeah.
it's kind of an easy pick.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I'm probably on Mitch level, even with all-time favorite, possibly athlete. I have been a Nash fan for a very, very long time.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, this one is tougher for you, Denise, because you
Yeah.
haven't been a Suns fan for very long.
This one's not too exciting.
I'm
or
going to
fair.
say Rubio again. Yeah.
Cool.
My
Because,
answer.
I mean, the current iteration of the Suns is really what you know. I mean, a little bit of
Yeah.
last season, but mostly just this year. So, yeah, Rubio it is. Nice. Okay, favorite college basketball team is next.
I don't know why I think you like these guys or why you started to like these guys, but do you like Duke?
Yeah, Duke. It's
Oh,
always been my
come
favorite. I'm
I-
so sorry, Mitch. I'm sorry that you had to hear that, but I've always been a Duke fan. That comes from my brother. I'm actually going to
Moving
blame my
on.
brother.
No.
My brother
Is that Troy?
Justin.
Justin,
No.
okay.
My oldest brother Justin liked Duke, and for some reason, I thought it was cool to be like him when I was younger, and I started
Okay.
liking them. But
Fair enough.
I like Coach K.
That's what I was called when I coached 4th and 5th grade football.
Oh, you're the OG Coach K, huh?
No, he is.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Thought they called you Big Crump.
That was when I played.
Oh, okay.
They did, though. That's true. Your favorite college basketball team, Denise, and I know you don't follow college basketball. I'm going to say Arizona State.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just by default.
By default. Where you went to school, where I went to grad school. They're my second favorite college team. So we
Go
have that
some
in common.
Devils.
There we go.
Yes. Okay, easy one. All right. Favorite team other than the Suns? If the Suns didn't exist, who would you root for?
Okay, when we started going to games together, it seemed like we always went to Mavericks games. And I remember you liked Dirk, so Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
I have always been a Dirk fan, and I like the Mavericks. I do.
all right. Okay.
That's kind of a hard one though, because Timberwolves is a really close second
Mm.
because of the same reason that it's Charlie's. But yeah, Mavericks I like them.
Okay. And then for Denise, I think I knew this answer before you did. Your favorite team, if the Suns didn't exist, would be the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is correct.
And tell the world why.
There's not really, a special reason. It's just I lived there for a bit, and I would root for them if I didn't root for the Suns.
And I remember one of the first few games that we went to together was against the Blazers. And I think you were like, I'm going to root for the Blazers. I was like, why? And you, in the end, you didn't. And I'm pretty sure you wore a Suns shirt that night. But like, I remember you were a bit conflicted.
Or our last game that we went to too.
Yeah, the last one that we went to together
That was a
before
good one too.
the world shut down was against the Blazers. Yeah, that's right. Okay, there we go. Halfway through here, favorite player who is not on the Suns.
Okay, so I had 2 written down here, and I thought Tyson Chandler may be one of them because you had a Tyson Chandler jersey at one point. But you said something that made me think it wasn't Tyson anymore. So I go back to the Duke connection and I say JJ Redick.
I do really like JJ Redick. I love you, but I can't give that to you because I think I do really like JJ Redick. You are right. And it is the Duke factor, but it's Kawhi Leonard.
Nice. I appreciate that. I can get
Wow.
behind that too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay, well, I just have to go into this then because that's also Denise's favorite non-Suns player.
Nice.
Yeah, Denise loves Kawhi because, correct me if I'm wrong, but because of the whole meme of like, I'm a fun guy and I love the game of basketball, you
Yeah.
just gotta ask me more questions.
Well, I love it. He's just so like odd, and like I can relate to that. But
That
he's also a good
commercial?
player.
Yeah.
That commercial he did when he has the laptop and then it turns into like a miniature laptop when they change the camera and his hands look giant. That's so funny. And
It is.
he plays himself in that.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's good.
Yeah, that's really funny. I didn't realize it was going to be the same though. Yeah, you've been a Kawhi fan for since you saw that. I remember watching that with you for the first time.
I have
Okay.
to shout out Maria, my sister-in-law, is the reason I love Kawhi.
Oh,
She's
nice.
the one who turned me on to him. That's her
I
favorite.
think I think Maria likes Westbrook too, though.
she does. She likes Russell too, but
Eh.
she really likes Leonard, I think. So
All right.
She's half right then. That's good.
So next we have who was the first Suns game we ever attended against. This is another one that might be a bit ambiguous.
Well,
You should know
I
this.
mentioned this one already, and I know it because I took you. Me and my mom took Natalie to her first Suns game, which could have been mine. I don't know, but it was the Nuggets game, and actually,
no.
it wasn't.
Oh.
Nuggets.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
No, he's
I-
got it right.
I have it right. I'll prove it. I'll hold up my paper.
Perfect for an audio podcast.
Yeah,
No, who is it?
Mavericks.
It's the Mavericks.
Yeah, I said that already.
did
I
say
just
that.
I just goofed up. It's the Mavericks. I remember that was our first one.
I remember our seats. I remember everything about that game. We were on the baseline, but right in the upper deck on the railing. It was really cool. The seats were really awesome. I have pictures from
Yeah.
that game, and Dirk played awesome. Yeah, that was a good game.
Good stuff.
I think I remember that story actually.
Hmm.
Do you even know who your first Suns game was against? Did you?
It's been a long time. It was like years and years ago. So no, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Unfortunately.
Okay. I was gonna guess the Rockets. I don't know why. I just-
Maybe.
Felt
There's a
right.
chance.
I remember you saying that you've seen them play the Rockets or something like that, but I won't give a point because we don't know. We don't know the answer to that one. That's okay.
I think
Okay.
maybe a bonus point for if you can say how many years ago that game was, because it will mark the first year we dated.
Oh boy, that was the
What
first
you
year we
understand?
dated.
Yeah, it was because it was the first trip that I ever took with you. No, oh no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It was a couple years
Yeah.
after. But that game, I'll just say it. That game was 12 years ago. Our first
Wow.
Sundance game together was 12 years ago. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Just the other day. That's crazy. Wow.
That is, yeah. Okay, so next we have favorite in-arena performance.
I think we got to go Golden Grannies by default, right?
Golden
For
Granny.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
No contest. I love those ladies.
Yeah. Have you seen the Golden Grannies perform ever?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
once. Yeah, okay. Your favorite though, is it the pizza thing where I catch the pizza and
Wait, is that even? Does
no,
that count?
no, I don't think that counts.
Mitch considers that fun stuff during a game though,
Yeah.
so maybe.
Well, I get into it too, and like every T-shirt toss, I'm like, I'm gonna give this away to someone, but I want to catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think your favorite though. Oh, this is tough. Is it the trampoline dunk guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Those guys are good.
Yeah.
They're very, very good.
I always get amazed at that they don't really mess up. I mean, I don't. Maybe I've seen one where they missed it.
It's
but
pretty rare.
yeah, it is rare.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
just-
great.
It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
good.
surprised no one gets hurt.
Yeah, really.
Like catch a chin on the rim or something like that. There's so many things that could happen up there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like that.
Or fall wrong.
Yeah, that goes in it too.
Yeah, but the gorilla does it too. Yeah, nice. Okay, favorite in-game local commercial.
Okay, this one I might be wrong here, but it's a couple years old, and it was the Casino Arizona Win Your Way,
Yes.
where they
Wow.
know my name. They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Nice work. I
That-
could sing every single word
Yeah,
to that
that
one.
was on for quite a few years. I think this is the first year they haven't been showing it. They got a new commercial.
Make it up a little
Thank
bit.
you for that. But that was a catchy one. That got stuck in everybody's head.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know yours, and I think it's a little bit of a deep cut. I'm pretty sure yours is when the Suns did the Ricky Rubio action figure promotion, and the kid goes, "Dad, I want a man bun." Is that the one?
Ding ding ding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something that we said for a while. Dad, I want a man bun. Yeah.
Well, at first when we watched that, I was like, "Wait, is that real? Like, can you actually get that?"
That's true. Yeah, we didn't know if that was real or not, and it was. Yeah, that's right.
That was an excellent commercial.
It
That
was.
one, I didn't know what exactly was happening when I saw it the first time. And when the kid dropped the "Dad, I want a man bun," that made me laugh so hard. I didn't see it coming. It was good. Good
Yeah,
commercial.
that was a great commercial. Yep. All right. Wow.
Good job.
To number 10, favorite sport other than basketball.
I know this one. My Natalie here is a speedster. She ran track in college. So I think it's track because I know that Olympic time, that's big time. We don't miss the track and field events for that. And sometimes we'll even watch people qualifying for the Olympics. Like there will be a marathon on our TV sometimes. I don't know how you get through a marathon.
That's
But-
rough.
If we're watching, I like watching sprints. Those are fun to watch. So I'm going track. I think I'm right.
That's right.
Yeah.
My sport is your sport's punishment.
That's right.
Yeah.
I hated track. I love playing ball, baseball, basketball, football, but I was always in track to just stay in shape, but I hated it.
Okay.
Good job.
This is a tough one. I know it's not baseball because I know you just don't like baseball at all whatsoever. You have suffered through many football games with me, and you've said that they're very long. we've gone to a couple hockey games together, and I know those are somewhat fun, but I know you also like the Olympics. I wasn't thinking Olympics even counted in this.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the Olympics, but no.
So hockey, is hockey correct?
No.
No?
Do you want to take another guess?
Well, do Olympics count?
No.
Oh, it's not
That's not
hockey
a
and Olympics
sport.
don't count. Oh my gosh.
The whole Olympics.
Okay, more specific then.
Yeah.
It's not hockey and it's not Olympics. Geez, I don't know, bowling?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it gymnastics?
No, oh my gosh, no, I'm so dumb. It's soccer, obviously.
Oh,
I knew that.
There we go.
Well, okay, no, this is tough because you played soccer and you were also a really good golfer. You golfed in high school.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
I played 1 year in high school, and I liked it. I started getting good towards the end, but I never followed through with that. But no,
Nice.
I played more soccer.
Soccer,
growing up.
yeah, and that's I know that. That's
Cool.
obvious. Soccer, yeah. I'm giving myself that because I knew that.
You're keeping score, so you can.
Yeah. So we finished this. We both got 9.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. The only one that I missed was the one that you didn't know the answer to. And the only one you missed was the non-Suns player.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice job, gentlemen.
I listen.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We're both good listeners, I
Yeah.
think.
No, you did good.
We try. Yeah. Okay, well, now it's time for us to move on to our non-sports section of the show. And we're just going to keep this going with some non-sports questions. So we came up with a shorter list here that we'll go through a bit more quickly. So we can just go back and forth, answer for both. We don't have to go one at a time here. So between the two of us, who's the best cook? You guys can start.
Oh, it's
That's me.
easily Natalie.
Yep, and it's easily Denise. Not
Yeah.
even close. I remember the first time I ever cooked for you was like a nightmare. It was a disaster. It was so bad. I tried to make breakfast for dinner. I made these eggs that were like the worst eggs I've ever made in my life. It was so bad. And I don't think I'm like a horrible cook, but compared to you, I don't even hold a candle to your cooking abilities.
But you're getting better.
Maybe nerves were involved in that first egg dish, though.
Yeah.
You're trying to impress, and that
For
might be
sure.
tough. But no, Natalie comes from a long line of amazing chefs, cooks, whatever you will, and she's keeping it real with it. So she definitely wins. I can grill, and that's about it.
There's a
Eggs.
couple things I know how to make. I mean, I do make decent breakfast. I made waffles today, actually.
Ooh.
With the waffle maker that Denise got me. It's mini. It's tiny. And the recipe makes like 10 or 12 of them, and I make them on Saturday or Sunday and just eat them all throughout the day. Yeah.
Waffle weekends.
That's right. Okay, the next question. Favorite kind of pizza?
Charlie likes lots of stuff on his pizza, so I would say either like the meat, like Meat Mania, or like a Supreme pizza.
Meat Mania.
Well, that's
Meat Mania. Title of the episode. Meat Mania.
I believe it's Meat Lovers.
okay.
Meat Mania. No, I'm going Meat Mania because I think that's something new and it's probably going to be pretty good,
No,
right?
Pizza Patron's all meat pizza is called the Meat Mania.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's been our jam lately.
Mhm.
So yeah. No, that's fair though. That's probably
What's
true.
mine?
Yours, I know you like a lighter pizza. And I know you love mushrooms. I'd say that'd be like your favorite topping in general, but
Yeah.
like a white pizza would probably be my overall guess.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, veggie pizzas, white pizzas, but anything with mushrooms.
You also love mushrooms.
Hmm?
But I don't think that's your favorite pizza. I think your favorite's Hawaiian.
Yeah, I was kind of stuck either between mushrooms or Hawaiian, but specifically with barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hawaiian with barbecue sauce.
Yum.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Trust anything she says when it comes to this kind of stuff. She knows. Even if it sounds out of the ordinary, just eat it. You won't regret it. It's good. What's my favorite though?
I will say buffalo chicken.
Yeah, I love chicken on pizza. Buffalo chicken or like chicken bacon onions with like a white sauce. That would count too. Any of that. Buffalo chicken's a good one though. Yeah. Stuffed crust too. Shout out stuffed crust. That we can save that for another non-sports section. Okay, here's the next one. What are your pet names for each other? And we only do this because it's going to be pretty funny.
Ours are jokes. I mean, well, what do you call me? It started in college.
Nat Bomb is your nickname.
Nat Bomb.
And that's kind of become a pet name for some weird reason,
Yeah.
but Nat Bomb has stuck for a really long time. No one knows why or where or when it started, but she's known as Nat Bomb.
Yeah.
Nat Bomb. Yeah.
But we also got some joke ones. We like to copy Michael and Jan from the dinner party episode
Yeah.
where they call each other babe. we like doing that.
Love you,
Thanks,
babe.
babe. Thanks, babe.
This is a 13-inch flat screen, babe.
Yep. That's a good one. And then I call you girl every once in a while.
That's
Girl with
Sup,
a U.
girl.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I refer to you as Bud.
Bud.
Sup, Bud? Hey, Bud. That's pretty much
Yep.
Bud.
what I call you. Yeah.
Well, yours are tame compared to ours. We have some weird names for each other because I'm a weird guy.
Well, they've evolved a lot, actually.
They have evolved.
And I'd say most of them are in Spanish just because I don't know. I guess it's
Well,
more...
the main one is cabrita, which means small goat. And it started because around Halloween, I made up this song called Cabrita Fantasmita, which means little ghost goat. And I made a whole song out of it, and it just went from there.
Cabrita.
Cabrita, yeah. Or I call you bean, or like bean salad, or like roasted bean, and I don't know where that came. No, it's because I called you frijoles at first, and then I changed it to
Yeah,
English, and I don't know where that one came from.
Yeah, I don't know either. But what else?
Yeah, those are pretty weird, guys.
Oh,
Or Densise is the other one. Because one of our mutual friends was spelling Denise's name. She spells it with a C, not an S. And our friend was writing her name out and didn't know if it was a C or an S, so he wrote both. He wrote it Dencise. Densise. So that just kind of stuck too. And I mean, even like your sister will call you that too, because she was there.
Yeah,
You're hanging
like
out
my
with her.
mom too.
And your mom,
Yeah.
yeah. So that one kind of stuck too. Do we have any other ones?
I used to call you Toronja.
Toronja, yeah. It means grapefruit. Because I love grapefruit.
I don't know, it just sounds cute in Spanish for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sure we have more, but those are the main ones. Toronja, yeah. Yeah, we're funny. And then last one, favorite show to watch together.
Whatever Natalie wants.
Yeah. That's about right. Coming from a guy who's seen what's the status on seasons that you watch of The Office, 1 through 4?
Yeah, I pretty much stick to 1 through 4. I mean, I've obviously
It's
seen them all.
Seasons
100
1 through
times.
4 of The Office on an eternal repeat is pretty much what we're moving towards. So I think we have to say The Office.
We have to. But we could maybe talk about the shows that we've really enjoyed watching together, like our recent Game of Thrones was pretty big.
Game
for
of Thrones
us
we watched.
when we were going through that.
That was a weekly event for us.
The Handmaid's Tale was for a while, but we dropped off of that. I would say the first ones though that we, every week got excited for was The Walking Dead. And then it got weird and we stopped, but that was another one that we used to be pretty big on, but
Yep. The Office is the go-to.
yeah.
Lately we've been watching Impractical Jokers a lot.
Yeah, that's been
Get
our
some good
recent-
laughs out of that.
Yeah.
Those are the two bigged right now though.
Mhm.
Okay. What would you say ours are? We've started a lot of shows, but haven't finished many.
I would probably say The Office. Or we tried to start The Witcher,
Witcher,
but
yeah.
those
Oh.
are those
They're
are hour-long
long.
episodes,
Yeah.
and if anybody knows Mitch, he falls asleep like and so we can't even make it through.
We had to watch the first episode twice because I slept through like all of it. Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
That one, Game of Thrones, we both watched that, and we would talk about that a lot, like as it was coming out, because Tyler, your brother-in-law, got you into that, and then I was into it. Well, we watch Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives quite a bit.
Well, Guy Fieri is the man, so that
No.
makes sense.
Or Bob's Burgers too.
Oh yeah,
We watch
that
a lot
was
of
our
Bob's
other one,
Burgers.
Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers.
Denise, you were Louise for Halloween, right?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
that was awesome. That was a good costume.
Thank
That was
you.
solid.
That's when we knew we liked you,
Yep.
Denise. When we were like, "Yep, she's cool." She was Louise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and that does it. Thank you to Denise and Natalie for joining the show. After all these years, we finally got you guys on, so I hope you're okay with us now, right? I know we've been arguing about this a little bit. Maybe this should have made the list. Natalie's been wanting to come on the show for a long time, and I think she did great. So this was a
You
lot of
both
fun.
did great. Absolutely.
Everybody
Thank
did
you.
great. Another solid episode. Check us out on social media at Sunny and PHX Pod. That is on Twitter and Instagram. We thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week. Go Suns.